Yeah, what up, though? It's your man, DJ Caveman. We back again. DJ Iron Monkey in the building. It's another
Mm-hmm.
episode of Caveman and Iron Monkey talking that shit, because that's what we do. We give our, you know, distinct takes on the goings on in the world around us. You know what I'm saying? How two
Mm.
men of a certain age see the world. You know what I mean? And
Alright.
you know, make sure you hit that like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Today, I also went live on the Facebook because this is a very important episode, man. We're going to be talking about the election. We're going to go over the ballot. We're going to, give our final views on what's happening because you only got a day now to vote. 2 days left, and then it's time,
It's only
and
two
then
days left.
by the end of the year, we'll have a new president situation, because it's probably going to take about that long after the election to verify everything. Although a lot of people did vote early, but they can't start
Mm.
counting them. They can't really start counting them votes until Tuesday. So, you know, like 60
Yeah.
million people might have voted, but you don't know who voted for who because they can't start counting the votes technically until Tuesday.
And
Um,
then the mail-in votes.
then the mail-in votes. Then who knows what's gonna happen with Trumpito? You know what I mean? He's already you
Hmm.
know trying to cause a stir with the ballot boxes that got set on fire in Pennsylvania and all like the people in West Virginia or Virginia that got taken off the voter registration rolls, even though some of them are
Mm-hmm.
still are actual citizens. There's a lot of shit going on right now in the world, man. But before we get into any of that, we must check in. Um, shit, man. How was your week, bro?
My week was pretty smooth. It was better than the previous week where, like I said last week about the little health scare that I had. This week was more of, just pacing myself and making sure that I had enough strength to work the shows this week because I ended up working for Halloween on Thursday, and that night was wild. A couple of people went to prison that night.
Oh shit! Yeah.
oh yeah, people try to fight the cops. I guess they had the dogs. Security guard, he was saying how he had to let the mace off because they was trying to bum rush the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was wild. But the costumes were relatively tame. But overall, it was a decent week.
Yo, what's the costume you've seen the most over your? God damn, my bad. What's the
Uh, Kerry, I saw quite a few Kerrys. Um, Somebody I saw at least like three Buzz Lightyears. Weird. Um,
Buzz
but yeah,
Lightyears?
no, yeah, yeah. There was like three Buzz Lightyears at the party. But mind you, it was two separate parties. It was like a college hip hop show in the big room, and then it was a rock show in the small room. So it was varying degrees of vibes, to say the least. But no, which one you seen the most of?
I seen first, what up to the homie Damien Argenti in the chat. What up, Damien?
You're
Hope you're recovering good, bro. Mike Thrasher's in the chat. What up, Mike?
ah Thrasher.
Jay Prince also in the chat, you know. I saw a lot of I was at the club. We had
Mm.
our Halloween party on Wednesday.
At the
Um,
ballet.
at the ballet, you and then so I saw a lot of sexy Chuckies. There's a lot of
Mm.
chicks dressed like the Chucky doll, some with the makeup, some without. Um,
Mm.
I seen an equal amount of Harley Quinns. Some
Yeah, I was
some
seeing
Lady
quite a
Gaga
few
versions.
jokers.
Yeah, some Jokers, some Lady Gaga versions, and
Mm.
some Margot Robbie versions. Some comic. I saw
Okay.
one or two comic book versions. So Harley Quinn is one of those where people do their different versions of it. Um,
Oh
I
yeah.
did I did see
So
a
I'm
couple
so
couple girls rocking the same exact costume. I don't know how that went down, but
yeah, I'm surprised I didn't see a lot of Deadpools or Wolverines. Like, cause Deadpool has so many different variants. Like,
I did
You
see
could
one.
be
I did see one Wolverine. I saw one, but from Logan.
old man Logan.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
did
he
see
just basically went in his regular clothes with sideburns.
with sideburns and the leather jacket.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but it was official. I saw Clockwork Orange. That was probably the coolest one I saw.
Mm.
Uh, but overall, when you work in the clubs, uh, you're gonna see there's a lot of sexy versions of stuff. Um, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to the homie Ariana. She won the costume contest at Desire. She did like a Lady Two Face with the full makeup.
Oh.
She changed her hair, like half her hair was like curly and half was straight. She did the full
Oh,
makeup
nice.
with the suit and everything. Like she killed that shit. Uh,
Mm.
and the dude that was just like Gru from Despicable Me, he had like the mask and shit. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Groot. I thought you said Groot. I was about to say the
Oh
fuck.
no, no, no! I
Wow.
was like, yo, so dude dressed like Groot and be walking around with the big ass tree and shit. That shit would be nuts. But
Ordering beer just saying Groot. Groot.
I am Groot.
Like, what the fuck you want? Guinness?
I
I'm
am Groot.
Groot. Motherfucker, you getting a white claw, that's it. Well,
Right?
I'm not a bartender, so I don't deal with people like
Shout out to the homie DJ Red, aka the homie Mike. He was dressed as Penn Jillette on accident.
who?
From Penn,
Oh,
from Penn and Teller.
by
Uh,
accident.
yeah, by accident. He was trying to be like, I guess he was Clark Kent because he had the glasses. So he had the
Mhm.
Superman logo under the suit, whatever. But Mike got the slick back ponytail and the beard, and some chick walked past us. It was like, oh shit, it's Penn Jillette. He was like, what?
Ah,
No, no, I'm supposed to be Clark Kent. But then he looked it up, and it was like they could have been twins, Joe. He was
so
cosplaying.
he pivoted his costume, huh?
So he pivoted his costume.
Mm.
On day two of like because he had this shit on for the party too, and then
Oh,
he was rocking. That was his Halloween costume for every spot. Um,
huh.
I had the Venom mask, but I couldn't really see out of it because I couldn't get my glasses on behind it. So I had to not rock it
Oh,
because it didn't have good peripheral. So I couldn't have been able to drive with it either way. But
oh, it was one of them old school hard masks that they used to have in like the
well, it got
80s,
a hard
90s.
no, no, no. I got a hard face, but it was like wrapped. They're like zipped up, and then like the
Oh, okay.
eyes, the eyes blinked and everything. It was pretty straight.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah. I had some mechanics and shit in it.
Yeah, yeah. The ill thing is that I think I have it somewhere here. I have a Rorschach mask where it's actually ill. It's heat sensitive, so when you breathe, like the thing moves,
oh, dope.
right? Yeah, so yeah, I have that somewhere inside here. But I was like, nah, I'm not gonna be wearing no mask while I'm trying to work.
Right.
No, as a
Yeah.
bar back, 'cause that shit gets way too thin, especially when you gotta switch out CO2 tanks and
Yeah,
syrups and shit like that. Like, no.
your face would have been mad glistening by the end of the night too, and I don't know.
Oh, no.
your
Yeah,
shit, your shit,
face paint, and like costume stuff. No, that is not functional for me. I could wear a hat,
your
and
shit would
that's
have
it.
been super moisturized by the end of the night, dog.
If anything, though, they had a dunce hat, right? One of them red ones. But when they put it on, like I had another black hat, and I stuffed like the thing underneath. I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm a David the gnome. They was like, really, David the gnome? I was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm the urban David the gnome, not black. I'm just urban. They're
Right,
like, oh, okay,
right.
all right. Yeah, a
Because
couple of
wife was
drunk chicks was like, oh my god, yeah, no, oh my god. I'm like, yeah, yeah. Let me get back to work. No, I'm not getting caught up in this shit.
right, right, right. Shout out to the homie Courtney in the chat, yo. But how was the rest of the
All
week
right.
besides Halloween, bro? Did you do anything spectacular?
Um, Nah, well, I just cooked and worked during the week. Last night I worked again, and it was a rock and folk show. That shit was busy as fuck. If anything, I ended up getting wasted at the end of the night. Like, I'm surprised I woke up that this early this morning. Like I'm still feeling it, my whole body. But nah, other than that, man, it was chill. How about yours? How about your week? What you end up
Hey,
doing?
well, first of all, uh, First of all, shout out to Kim. Oh shit, what up, Kim? Kim's in the chat, y'all. I ain't
Oh,
seen.
where?
I hope you're doing good down wherever you at. One of the homies from back in the heyday. Uh, but you
Mm.
know, first I must. My week was amazing because the Lions won again. You know what I mean?
Oh,
True. The
huh.
Kings of the North. We went to Green Bay this week and opened up a can of whoop ass on the Packers.
Glad I put Jordan Love on my bench. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, he had a rough outing. He had a rough outing.
Oh yeah.
Uh, although Brandon Jacobs did do work, he had 100 yards in like it seemed like the first quarter, but it was the first half.
Yeah.
Man, he got
I
busy
had,
on us today, but wasn't
yeah. No,
enough.
I had him on my bench. You know, last
I
week
hit,
he put up some crazy numbers, but this week, even though like he put up 100 fantasy wise, that's the thing. Yeah, it doesn't really translate.
he had a
Like,
touchdown. I think he had a touchdown too. He had like 100 plus with a tutty. You know what I mean? Did the damn
yeah,
thing
I think he
today.
probably had like 22 points in
Yeah,
fantasy.
that's a lot for a running
But
back, bro.
oh yeah, no, but I'm banking that Kareem Hunt is gonna do better. That's why I swapped Jacobs
I
out
don't
for Kareem Hunt.
I don't know, man. Like you got to be weary with like teams that got a lot of weapons. Like today, like I hit my one wide receiver parlay to
Hmm.
break even on the day, and I went with Jameer Gibbs this week. You know what I mean? But he didn't even get too many carries until like the second quarter, and then he just
Mm,
broke one off for a touchdown. But if not, like you know what I mean, because they got so many weapons. Like Laporta was in my tight end parlay. I didn't
mm,
hit that because he didn't catch a ball. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. The guy
Um,
I'm playing against, he had Laporta.
yeah, so like you never know when you got that many weapons that can score. You know what I mean? Like the Chiefs
Mm.
got weapons, dog. Like they got Kelsey out there. They got Xavier Worthy. They got some guys that they could. Mahomes might
Yeah,
run a couple in.
they just picked up Hopkins too.
Yeah, they got D Hop. You know what I mean? They got some guys down there that could that's taking energy away
Mm.
from
But
from the
but
run
when they
game.
want to run, but when they want to run the ball, because obviously they're not gonna pass the ball like on every play. Kareem Hunt is there, and Kareem Hunt is getting like what 5 yards per carry.
True.
So and plus, like the thing too is like, yo, he was giving me good points without even scoring touchdowns. He was giving me like 18 points, 20 points without even scoring a touchdown.
Oh,
So
that's good. Yeah, yeah. So that's good
nah,
because
because
he had
the
probably a lot of catches, right?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because
So
we get points for targets and shit like that too,
word.
and catches.
The rest of my week was pretty smooth, man. You know what I mean? Just out here slanging these packages and fulfilling the daydreams of single stay-at-home soccer moms.
Desperate
Um,
Housewives.
the desperate housewives, if you will. Um, but other than that, pretty marginal week. I had a little sinus infection, so I'm on a lot of antibiotics right now. I had a
Oh
sinus
damn.
infection and an inner ear infection at the same fucking time because I don't know. The world hates me, I guess. So they got me on. First of all, oh yeah. They got me on amoxicillin, which I got excited about because I haven't had amoxicillin since I was a small kid. Now it's the bubble
Hmm.
gum, the pink bubble gum cough syrup shit from back in the day. So I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm about to be sipping on this bubble gum shit. Why they give me pills, yo?
You thought you was gonna be sipping on some scissor?
Nah, man, they gave me pink pills, bro, and
Uh,
that shared my feelings. But and they gave me prednisone, but that's the usual Z-Pack shit.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, other than that, man, it was a
Oh.
straight week, bro. Shout out to Kwame Darko in the chat.
Hey, Kwame.
Kwame.
Matter of fact, I was actually talking about Kwame. Remember
I
the
was
chicken I
gonna
was
say,
telling you about
yeah,
last week? That
yeah.
hot ass chicken, and I was eating the fufu to try to numb my mouth and try to cool shit off.
Yo, Kwame
Yeah,
been mentioned on the podcast a couple times. Shout out to Kwame.
shout out to Kwame, his brother Ampofo, sister Muffet. You know, my mother used to call her Cookie. I don't know why. I'm like, her name is Muffet. Yeah, Muffet, Cookie, same thing. It's all bakery goods. I'm like, what?
I don't
I'm like,
think
it's
that's how it
Muffet.
works.
In her mind, rest in peace. Like, she kept calling her Cookie. I was like, it's Muffet. Not even Muffin. It's Muffet. Like,
I
you
mean, I
know,
guess but if Muffet answers to Cookie, then you could never get a chance to get corrected. You know what I mean?
Well, look, when one of your elders just calls you a name and you've corrected them like twice, it gets to a point where who am I to correct them?
The
As what?
person
Like
whose name it is, bro.
As an 8-year old.
It's your name. Nah, you don't get to say my name wrong. I'm gonna tell you every time.
Hey, Darren.
Nope,
No, it's
Daryl.
Daryl.
No, it's
No,
Daryl.
no,
How you doing? Every
that's why I
time.
tell people just call me D. You know how many
What
times
is-
people call me Raul? I'm like, I'm like,
Yo, that shit ain't even
Ra-
close, bro.
yeah, nah. My sister makes fun of me about that. She calls me Raul. I'm like,
Yeah,
shut up. Yeah, nah, just call me D. Makes life simpler for you and me.
yeah. No, I hate
Put
when
it in a
people say
rhyme
my
so it's easy to remember.
I hate
Hmm?
when people say my name wrong, so I just tell them every time. There's a dude at work who always calls me Darren, and I always go. He goes,
Hey, Darren.
Darren. I go, Daryl. He goes, oh yeah, that's right. So when he gets it right, he's so like surprised, and he's like, oh shit, I got your name right, and I'm like, yes, you did. He was like, all right, Daryl, and he says it a couple more times, and then like inevitably, like a couple hours later, he calls the DJ booth. He's like, hey, Darren, I got girls in the back, and I'm like, god damn it, it's Daryl. He's like, oh shit. I'm like,
Uh,
I don't even
you know
think he
what?
does
Too,
drugs. I just think he just doesn't. He's not good with
he
names. Like some people are just
he's
terrible with names.
old. Yeah, I'm kind of bad with names. You know,
Like,
shout out to our boy Annam Street Will,
oh, Will, what up,
Annam
Will?
Street
Yo, I
Studio.
miss Random Street Studios, yo, the best in the business.
Yeah, nah, cause he came by the club a couple of times, and one time I was like, Mike, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, my bad, Will. But I'm mad I yelled out Mike like that with some pure confidence.
He
Like,
said that
hey,
shit
yo,
loud
Mike.
too. Mike,
Loud
yo,
as
Mike, you don't
fuck.
hear me calling you Mike?
Hey,
Who's
yo,
fucking
Mike.
Mike?
He probably, only thing he did was he looked around like, who's he yelling at?
Who's
And I
he calling for?
put my hand up and on, Mike.
Oh no, not with the wave.
Yeah, Mike.
Oh man, yeah,
He
that's a
did this,
classic.
but nah, I walked over and I spoke to him. You know, smoking weed at work took the edge off.
Hit him with the. You're not Tundi.
You know, Tony.
Yo, that's it. If you grew up with
Woo!
us, you'll understand the inside
Oh,
joking.
that's it. Yeah. Oh
It's a
man,
deep cut. It's a deep,
that
deep
that was that was a deep cut.
cut.
Oh man. Nah, I remember something happened with Thrasher, but I'm not gonna put him out there like that though.
Nah, nah. But
But
today is a super dope episode. Well, it's always a dope episode, but today's episode is most important because we had the election. Uh, Probably
yep.
we'll call it the most important thing happening on Tuesday because it's also the NFL trade deadline, and the Lions need to make
Is
a
it?
move. Yes,
Is it? Oh
the
shit.
Lions
That's
need to make a move uh, to get an edge
only
rusher.
oh, only murders in the building is done. That's usually my Tuesday thing. That's the thing I actually like about shows that come out weekly versus binging. It gives me an event for that day. Like today is Penguin. Uh Agatha All Along, that's actually over. That was my Wednesday. So now I just gotta find new shows. I tried Papa House. That one I gotta give a chance. But either
Um,
way.
I
Yeah,
let shit build.
Tuesday.
I let shit build up now because so I can binge at least like 2 or 3 episodes at a time.
Yeah.
So I'll wait. Plus, I'm like not home enough, and then when I am home, I'm trying to sleep. So
Mm,
shit kind of builds up naturally, and I'll be like, "Oh shit, I forgot about watching this show," and then I pick it up, and it's like 6 episodes in, and that shit makes me
mm.
happy so I can binge it. Check out the
Yeah.
Lioness man with Zoe Saldana. Uh,
Yeah.
Super dope. Season
Isn't that
one
on
is really
Prime?
good. It's on Paramount.
Paramount. Oh yeah. All
Yeah.
right.
It's a real solid show if you're looking for something new to watch. But anyway, the other thing that's happening on Tuesday, besides the NFL trade deadline and the Lions getting Myles Garrett, Um, I'm trying to speak it into existence, man. Like Miles or
Mm.
Crosby got to come home. You know, one of them. We need one of them.
Nah, Max Crosby's they're not trading him. They already said that.
Yeah, they probably not. They probably want too much anyway. But
Mm.
it's also the election, presidential
Yes.
election. But more importantly, and I want to stress more importantly, because obviously the president is a very important position as the leader of the quote unquote free world and all of that. However, the local elections are what really impacts the people,
The
regardless of
referendums.
what they're doing in Washington, man. Like the shit that's happening in your own backyard is the shit that you got to pay the close enough attention to, because those are the people who are trying to take sports out of school right now, out of high schools in
Mm.
Providence. To
Oh yeah.
because of budget cuts, like they can't find other shit to cut besides the shit that keeps kids off the street. But
Yeah, mind you, they would never cut their salary. They always have a built-in raise, but yet they could find ways to cut money elsewhere so that way they could keep their salaries.
right, and
Because
let me try to be clear. I'm sure they're not going to cut the major sports, right? So I'm sure there'll be a baseball team, a football team, a basketball team, uh, you know,
wrestling,
but
maybe.
the sports that the kids that aren't good at those sports play, like field hockey or
Mm.
softball or swimming or gymnastics, or you know what I mean, the smaller sports,
Shout,
track and
shout, shout
field,
out to shout out to my daughter who does weightlifting down in Florida.
weightlifting. There are sport. I mean, luckily she's not really affected. I'm sure because this seems to be like a local city thing because Providence schools are run by the state. Um,
Now,
but
yeah.
you know, and so yeah, pay attention to the people who are making those decisions that may or may not be on the ballot. It's the first year that
Mm.
Providence School District is going to have a school board. So pay attention to those people because those people on your school board are going to be making important decisions with regards to your children that have no
Shout out
bearing on who our president is.
shout out Kobe Dennis,
Kobe
who's running
Dennis.
for the school board.
Yep, he's on District 2, I believe.
Yeah,
So what
I believe he's in my district.
so what I
I
did
think I got to double check.
was I pulled up the ballot. If you need to know, you can just Google your state and the ballot, and
Yeah,
whatever the
a sample
website is.
ballot.
Yeah, well, whatever the website for you the voter, whatever the voting office will come up, and it'll give you an opportunity to like check your voting
Mm.
status because you want to make sure that you are registered. Um, verify your polling place so you know where to go. Because
Yes.
there's nothing worse than like I moved cities. I moved from one city to another city. I had to make sure that I was registered in my new city, excuse me, and not my
Mm.
old city. Because if I would have gone to my old city thinking that I'm still registered there without checking, I'd have been sadly mistaken and really pissed off that I now had to drive. And I just drove like 30
Yeah,
minutes out of my way. You know what I mean?
and see the thing too is that I had to check for my father earlier this week to make sure that number one he was registered and make sure that everything was active with him. But I noticed too that they switched my polling place because it used to be the water company right here on the Academy, but then they switched it over to Mount Pleasant.
Okay.
So my thing is like you were saying, especially for elderly people that get like rides and transports to a
Right.
polling place, they basically get dropped off and then when they're done, they get picked up. But then the thing is you go to a polling place and it's not the polling place. A lot of times that shit is discouraging. And that's how some people very easily get disenfranchised.
Right.
So it's
Or
just
they
those
just go
little
home
things,
because they're frustrated.
yeah, little things like that is the little techniques where if voting was not important, why would people go to such lengths to do those little things to discourage people from voting? You know?
True. I mean, they
So
did have there was a lot of mail-in ballots this year. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
that makes it much easier for
a
especially the
lot of early
elderly.
voting too.
Yeah, it makes it much easier for the elderly to get, you know what I mean, their ballot in the mail. They fill it out, they put it back in the mail. They never have to leave their house.
Hmm.
And you know, as a mandate, the postal service is checking every box every day just to make sure that no ballots are getting overlooked. Because generally, like if you don't have your little flag up, or if I don't have mail for you, I'm not going to your house. It's a waste of time for me to go to your house without mail. But
mm,
if you have an outbound ballot and your mailbox doesn't have one of those little flags, I'm not going to know it's there unless you hang it out of the box. Um,
mm.
so, just make sure that if you are balloting, well, it's kind of late now at this point, but we're actually not really because we're picking up ballots on Monday and
Mm.
on Tuesday, and ballots are being delivered by each individual post office um, directly to the wherever they go, the voting place. Uh,
Yeah.
to get counted and shit. So, something to the homie Chuck who made national news. Chuck used to be my postmaster back in the day. He's down in Pennsylvania somewhere now. Some dude was
Mm.
following him around with a camera because he had a box of ballots that he was taking in. And the dude was like really giving him a hard time, like, "Whoa, why do you have so many ballots, guy? You can only vote one ballot at a time." Like he had a whole postal, like the shit was like clearly marked. But the
Yeah.
postmaster don't wear a uniform, right? He just wears regular gear. Like he's dressed like
Mm.
business casual. And he's like, "Dude, I work here." He's like, "No, you don't. you're you're committing like voter fraud and shit."
Uh,
Trust me, the postmaster is not committing voter fraud. Um, you
mm.
know, like
Yeah, these active citizens, the observant citizens,
some
they
of these
could
dudes
be
be some of these dudes get a
some
little
real,
aggressive.
yeah, yeah, there's some real irritants, you
Some of
know?
these some of these dudes
Like,
get a little aggressive. Don't be too aggressive though, because as I am a fan of free speech and the ability to and the rights to be able to walk
fuck
into
out my
places
way, man.
and shit like that, you have to be prepared to also incur whatever consequence comes with you running your mouth and saying the things that you want to say or being in the way of people trying to do their job because you could get punched in your shit and
Yo,
that would be the
yeah,
consequence for running
yeah,
your mouth.
yeah. Back in the day, there was a skit on in Living Color. That's one of the shows that they don't stream, which is very weird. That's a whole nother bag of cats in itself. But either way,
They
there was a
probably won't
skit
they
on
probably
it.
won't pay Keenan Ivory Waynes, man. He probably wants some dough to license that shit.
I don't know. There's a lot of politics behind that, but there was a skit though on there where there was a school of acting where the lady was showing other actors, other females, right, or whoever, how to take falls. So the show was some pimp, and he was like, "Out my way, bitch!" And she, ah. See, some of those people that come and they holding the camera in your face. Oh, I see what you're doing. Out my way, bitch. I don't mush one of them out my way, man. Like,
You
come
just
on,
got to be
man.
ready for the consequence. Even my man, that dude Tyrone, got shot and killed and shit. I'm Tyrone,
Mm,
and I'm here to fuck your wife. That guy, he got shot
oh,
because
word?
you can't say that shit to too many people. Eventually, somebody's gonna be like, "Motherfucker, what?" You know what I mean?
Nah, that dude used to be real spicy.
Yeah,
Woo!
he tried to punk one too many dudes, and one dude was like, "Nah, this ain't today ain't the day." Uh,
Yeah. And
but
that was the end of his content creating, huh?
shout out to everybody in the chat. The homie Tremaine. Oh, Tremaine's in the chat with a Tremaine Page. And Dee Dee is watching right now. So thanks y'all
All
for
right.
popping in and out with us throughout the time. Let's get into this ballot, man.
All right.
I'm specifically going over the Providence, Rhode Island ballot. Know that your ballot may be different. I feel like I need to say this disclaimer. Your
Mm,
ballot is probably not going to be the same as mine unless you live in my neighborhood. So go on to the voter website, get a sample of your ballot. Do yourself a
mm,
favor before you go in there. I mean, not like they rush you at the ballot box, but you really want to have an idea of give some thought to like the things that are on the ballot, specifically the ones that are going to cost you money as a taxpayer. There's always one or two or
oh,
three, or in this case six uh,
mm.
questions on the
Yeah,
ballot. And you vote yes or no.
I, I,
Uh,
I think question one was,
all of
oh,
them,
well,
all of them are with regards to money. I'm gonna go through them. So all of them are with regards to some sort of money being allocated for some
hmm
sort of something. So you know, but also
that means that's where your tax money's going.
you want to familiarize yourself with those things, and you want to familiarize yourself with who your representatives are. Um, you know,
Yep.
in your different districts. You may not have a district up for election, but other places might. So just make sure that you pay attention to who your local representatives are going to be, because these are the people who allocate the funds that are given to us by the larger version of the government. So
Yeah, the federal government.
if the president says this money is for Rhode Island, and then it comes to Rhode Island, it's up to your senators who lobby for it. You know what I mean? Your state, your national senators lobby for this money. The money gets delivered, and then your local government distributes that, whether it's for education or for roads or for whatever it is.
Treasury.
That money gets allocated based on whatever the budget looks like, and these questions that are on the ballot. So
the treasurer and the comptroller.
Let's get into it. Obviously, there are a lot of people on the presidential ballot here. We'll start with obviously Kamala Harris and Tim Walz for the Democrats, and Trump and Vance for the Republicans. Robert F. Kennedy and Nicole Shanahan are still on the ticket. They're listed as Team Kennedy. That's their party, is Team Kennedy. There's a guy, Robert Wells. He's on the ballot with Tony Jones. They're listed as Party. They're the Party. Somehow they made the ballot in Rhode Island. Who knows? Chase Oliver and Mike Termat. That's your ticket for the Libertarian Party. Okay. Jill Stein and Rudolph Ware are the.
She's still holding on?
Yeah, she's the representative for the Green Party.
Okay.
Claudia De La Cruz and Karina Garcia. That's the Socialism and Liberation Party. And then there's always the write-in, where you can write in whatever name you want. I mean, there's a lot of choices here. If you feel like you still need to write somebody in, that's where you would write them in.
Don't put Eric B. Don't put Eric B. for president.
Come on, man. We're trying to be serious over here.
That's why I said don't do that. Yeah.
Local Rhode Island senator, 6-year term. Sheldon Whitehouse is the incumbent. He's up against Patricia Morgan. I've been seeing a lot of her. I've been delivering a lot of her flyers. They're both making a really big push. I want to say maybe Wednesday, one of those days this past week, I was delivering Patricia Morgan and Sheldon Whitehouse to the same house. Like they're flooding it out there right now. That's district. No, that's just the senator for Congress, and then the representative in Congress District 2 is up this year. As a 2-year term. Seth Magaziner is the incumbent, and Stephen Corvey.
That's treasurer, right?
Nope. District 2, Congress. State House of Representatives.
Because I think Magaziner ran for treasurer once.
But now he's running for this representative here. Each one of these sections have a write-in vote, so you can write in someone if you're not happy with those folks. Senator in the General Assembly, that's local inside of Rhode Island. District 4, which is our district, and that's Dominic Ruggiero. He's running unopposed again. I feel like nobody's run against this guy. It's a 2-year term, and I feel like nobody's running. I don't know. I feel like nobody's run against this guy in the years that I've lived in this district. He's been the only guy available on the ballot for the entire time that I've lived over here. And I feel like my mother's owned this house for going on 15 years. So what is that? 7 elections?
And it's only a 2-year term.
It's only a 2-year term. So 7 elections. He's run unopposed in at least the last 3 that I can remember.
Does he got? Listen, let me not say anything, because I only got 2 more years left on my child support payments.
Dominic Ruggiero is running unopposed in District 4. District 5, also running unopposed. Anthony DeSimone. Those are the only 2 districts. I'm not sure what District 5 is, but it's not our district. But it's on this. It's on the specific thing here, and then we have
odds be in their favor.
Right? I mean, you can definitely write in a person.
That's
There's a
true.
few. I saw a few like Facebook posts of people running for the write-in vote. So
Oh, okay.
we'll see. And then we have our nonpartisan school board, District 2.
All right.
4 year. It's a 4 year term. Uh, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 folks. Michelle Lee Fontes or Fontes, depending on how you pronounce it. Kobe Dennis, uh, Tony Atkin, Christopher
Okay.
Ireland, and Andrew Grover,
Oh, okay.
Grover or Grover, probably Grover. So
Well,
those are the people that are running for.
there's a cool read by you, so I understand it's a little bit tough
Uh,
to just see the name and then.
Well, it just depends on how everybody pronounces it. You know what I mean? Like some people pronounce it uh, Jean, and some people pronounce it Jean. It just however you say it is how it is. But
Mm.
since I don't know how they say it because I've never spoken to them, I'm just giving you all the versions that I can think of that might be right.
Some people say Roy. Some people say Wah.
Wow. Right. So, you know,
If anything, it's just Daoud. It's never been Raul. It's never been that. It's always been Daoud. There's no other pronunciation.
I mean, it could be
Either way.
Dawood.
Next question.
It could be Dawood. What I'm saying is people could be
Next.
fucking it up. Is all I'm saying. Um,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so at the
They
risk
do.
of,
That's why I tell them to just call me D.
instead of just butchering it up, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you as many combinations of pronunciations that I can. Now,
Okay.
those are the people. Those are the individual people that you can vote for. As we move on
Mhm.
to our questions,
All right.
this year on the ballot, we have 5 questions on the ballot that you can
Moved
vote
on to
on.
the essay part of the.
This is where you kind of got to pay attention to the shit,
Yeah.
or at least read it. Don't just skim through it. Like take your time with these ones. The first one is for the Constitutional Convention, uh, Section 2 of Article 24 of the Rhode
Mhm.
Island Constitution. Shall there be a convention to amend or revise the Rhode Island Constitution? Um, Not sure really what they're trying to revise because I've never seen the actual Constitution of Rhode Island, but
Yeah.
it's probably old as fuck. So it might be worth it to just take a look at it. You
Yeah.
know, you might decide not to change anything, but having the ability to go in and look at it every once in a while, it might make me vote yes. Who knows? I'm gonna give it some thought tonight as I plan on voting tomorrow
Huh.
after my massage, and
Yeah.
so that,
It's taking them forever though to use up all the letterheads that they have with the plantation.
well, I mean, that might be part of the Constitutional Convention to change the official name of Rhode Island to just Rhode Island instead of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations.
Plantations. Yeah.
They might decide they want to change it to Newport and the rest of them
Mm.
because that's how it used to be. But
Mm.
anyway, uh, so then there's questions 2 through 5.
Okay.
Um, my version of the ballot also has a Spanish version. Preguntas.
I know.
Dos,
Don't do that.
cinco.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Come on, man. My Spanish is official, dog.
Yeah. Shout
So like
out. Rest in peace, Miss Townsend.
Miss Towns, man. Miss Towns. It was not Townsend.
Yeah, I never had Spanish. Actually, no, I had Spanish in
He
high
wasn't. He
school.
wasn't. He wasn't on the Casa Lupita trip.
Nah, I never had her class in Bishop.
Oh man. Shout out to Miss Towns. She was crazy. Anyway,
I don't even
so
think I had Miss Mac either. To be very honest. Anyways, go ahead.
anyway, all right. So now we're into the questions that involve your taxpayer dollars. Uh, so the first question 2 is higher education facilities. You're looking for 160,500,000 listed as for capital improvements to higher education facilities to be allocated as follows. University of Rhode Island Biomedical Sciences Building, you're looking for 87.5 million. The Rhode Island College Cybersecurity Building, they're looking for 73 million to make up that 160.5 million dollars. Um, I'm gonna just read these. I'm not necessarily gonna give my opinion because I don't want to sway anybody's situation. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I'm
but
trying to avoid it myself as well.
uh, they're yeah. Uh,
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid it as much
So
as
I'm gonna move.
possible.
I'm gonna move on to question number three because the ability here is just to inform you guys. I don't want to try to push your sway your vote. That's not what we're here for.
No.
This is not Fox News or CNN or MSNBC. This is Caveman IronMonkey talking that shit, and
Yeah.
we're going through the ballot to help you guys in case you don't have time to read it. You can just listen to the podcast, and we're gonna go over it for you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
question three: housing and community opportunity, which is a
Okay.
weird wording, but all right. They want 120 million to increase the availability of housing, support community revitalization, and promote home ownership to be allocated as follows: affordable housing, 80 million;
Mm.
acquisition and revitalization, 10 million; home ownership, 20 million; and
Mm.
site acquisition, 5 million;
Okay.
housing related infrastructure, 4 million; and municipal planning, 1 million. So basically, they're looking for money to be able to do some things um,
Build
with
houses
regards to like
and rezone.
build houses, maybe do some zoning to be able to build more houses. The
Mm.
property is there's a very limited property right now, to the point where I saw a commercial with like a real estate agent talking about you got houses to sell. I'm looking for houses to sell because there's really no houses for sale. So if you want to sell your
Mm.
house, hit me up, type shit. Like they like cold calling people, like, yo, you want to sell your house? My mom gets offered to sell her house like every couple of weeks. Like that's how much, that's how little there is property wise for people to buy. Shout out to Steve Dwyer. Oh shit, Manny's in the chat, and Chris. What up, y'all? What's going on? Also,
All
like
right.
when I see home ownership, I feel like those could be like first time home buyer grants, those types of things.
Yeah.
So do some research on this. Um, see if it makes sense for you. These are just approve or reject. Um,
Mm.
Question number four: green economy bonds, 53 million for environmental and recreational purposes to be allocated as follows.
Mm.
Port of Davisville infrastructure down in Quonset, 15 million. Climate resiliency, 2 million. Brownfields remediation and economic development, 5 million. That sounds like a consultation fee to me, but again, I'm gonna do some research later on and make sure I have a clear understanding of what that means. Um,
Yeah.
local recreation projects, 5 million;
Hmm.
uh, municipal resiliency, 10 million; Newport Cliff Walk, 3 million; agricultural land preservation commission, 5 million; open space program, 3 million; and forests and habitat management, 5 million. Um, Keep in mind that some of these programs are like nonprofits too, maybe. And so even though like um, you know forest and habitat management, um,
Mm.
it's 5 million, and that seems like a ton of money. But we do have a lot of forest land, but also like Audubon Society and like places like that feed off of
Yes.
that money for like school programs and like the new
Hmm.
what is it, Narragansett Bay Commission. Like that's how they get a lot of their funding. So just make sure you dig down is what I'm saying, because on the surface, like just looking at these things and like, why am I paying 3 million for the cliff walk? Why don't they just take that out of like the mansion budgets? You know what I mean? Uh,
Yeah.
like I said, the brownfields remediation and economic development. It sounds like a consultant fee, like,
Hmm.
but I'm sure that if I dig into it, it might be some more shit. So what I'm saying that is, I say that to say, do your research, people. I'm just here to let you know what's on the ballot. Um,
Yes.
Again, they're in English and Spanish. I'm sure if you need another language, you can get it in that language too. Um, Number five on the ballot: um, cultural arts and the economy grant program, 10 million
Yeah.
for the purposes of funding one-to-one matching grants to continue cultural arts and the economic grant program administered by the Rhode Island State Council on the arts, for
Okay.
capital improvement, preservation, and renovation projects for public and nonprofit artistic centers, performance centers, museums, cultural arts centers located throughout the state of Rhode Island, to be allocated as follows. The Tamaqua Museum, 2 million. The Newport Contemporary Ballet, 2 million.
Mm.
Trinity Repertory Company, 2 million. Other funds to be allocated to the Rhode Island State Council on the Arts, 4 million. So other money to
Hmm.
be used gratuitously for salaries is what that sounds like to me. But the other thing that I want
Yeah.
to maybe mention is that, right, if you reject it, they kind of have to go back to the drawing board, because this is as they see it, right? We're out of time to be able to, maybe rearrange some of this money. So like, why are we giving 4 million to other shit when we could move, a million each into these other programs and maybe help Trinity put on like more school uh, workshops or something like that. But
Mm.
that's why you go to your local meetings and you pay close attention to your local governments, because here we are voting on allocations that we could have been involved in from the beginning. And if it does approve, then you need to stay on top of your Congress folks locally to make sure that it gets allocated to the most needed situations
Mm.
with regards to how they're trying to move stuff around.
Yeah,
Also,
and do it respectfully. Don't be trying to like Geraldo Rivera the scene and have your phone up in their face. And what about this? Man, like, the fuck up, my huh?
there is a local question on the ballot listed as question 6. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Construction related demolition, renovation, improvement, alteration, repair, landscaping, furnishing, and equipping of schools and school facilities throughout the city. Um,
Okay.
you know, the schools in the city are pretty fucking old. And
Yes.
there are other cities that are building new schools and tearing down new schools and tearing down
Yeah.
schools and renovating schools. And East Providence just got a brand new school.
Yeah.
Pawtucket's getting a brand new high school. Uh,
Nathan Bishop and Hope, they both got renovated.
they got renovated, right? And so this is $400 million that they're looking to renovate and or rebuild schools, and that includes
400 million?
400 million in bonds and
How,
notes.
how much?
400 million. Yeah, I mean but I'm sure that. Well, I'm not sure because I haven't looked really into it. But on the surface, that's a lot of things that it's covering. If they need to tear down a
Mm,
school, build up a school, do the green spaces around the school, furnishing the
mm.
school, equipment for the school, um, you know, you're talking like maybe 100,
Computers,
yeah, computers, all that. So it could be, depending
Wi-Fi.
on what kind of state of the art type school, like, Central's always been known for their vocational situation,
Mm.
or their nursing program and those things and stuff like that. So, if you can equip these schools with like new facilities to be able to like,
I thought,
maybe
I
get
thought
something
Mount
like,
Pleasant was more nursing and hospitality.
okay, yeah, either way,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
uh, to be able to like, you know, give these kids the same type of advantages that other school districts have that only have one high school.
Mm,
And so, you don't need to renovate 6 high schools or 5 high schools, however many we have now,
mm,
versus like other smaller towns or, cities like Barrington or East Providence, or now Pawtucket is going to have one central high school, um, you know, because we're a little bit of a bigger city. Um, we have multiple high schools. So, that's the
yeah.
thing that I'm leaning on. I like the idea of it. But
It
again,
might be like sports fields too, and like sports facilities,
absolutely.
like
But
weight room and stuff like that.
and I feel like this is the type of thing that your school board will be handling.
Mm.
So
Oh
very
yeah.
important to make sure that the people you vote for your school board have the best interests of the schools and not their
Hmm.
careers in mind. Because some
Yes.
people use the school district or the school board as a stepping stone into politics. Um,
Hmm.
it's like the first. What's the first thing you can do if you want to start running for, you know, if you have political aspirations? You run for your school board, or you run for your city council, or like a
Yep.
little like something the alderman, that type of thing.
Aldermans, yeah.
I mean, not every city has, or town has an alderman, but it's like a very low level kind of entry level thing where it doesn't require a ton of time, but it also gets you in that political spotlight. So that's
Hmm.
the ballot as it is specific to Rhode Island, and then even more specifically to the district
Providence.
that I live in, the north end of Providence. Um, so do yourself a favor, download or don't download. You don't even have to download it. You can just pull it up and read that shit on your phone.
Yeah, the sample ballot,
The
the
sample
Google
ballot.
sample ballot.
Get yourself prepared. There's a couple days left. So if you don't vote until Tuesday, you have tonight, tomorrow, and then whatever time you take before you vote on Tuesday to go on
Yep,
ahead
yep.
and familiarize yourself with the ballot. Did you vote already?
No,
No.
I vote on Tuesdays.
All right. So Dawood's voting on Tuesday, or Dawood.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry. Sorry, man. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right, Darren. It's quite fine.
Darren again. I love when people get my
Mistakes
name wrong.
happen.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm gonna vote tomorrow. I think I got some time. It's my actual physical day off from the package slanging, and so I have a massage in the morning. Shout out to my massage therapist. Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
I
Yeah.
love, I
Well,
love
hold on.
massages. I go
Yeah.
every 2 weeks. Do your body maintenance, people. This shit is important. You only get one body, so if you don't
Self
take
care
care
is
of them,
not selfishness.
it falls apart, man. And
Mm.
fellas, don't be afraid to get your feet done. It's been a long time for me. I got to get these dogs. Man,
Oh boy.
get your
Here we
feet
go with
done,
this
guys.
shack talk.
Listen, you only get one set of feet, dog, and you don't want to be like you don't want to be the you want to be the Eddie you want to be the Eddie
Shack
Murphy.
toes.
Yeah, you don't want Shaq toes, but you also want to be the Eddie Murphy character. You don't want to be the chick with the ugly feet character in Boomerang. You know what I mean?
Hammer toes.
Yeah, you show up to your lady's house. You know he's dating a new lady. You show up, you're like, yo, let's go to the beach, and you're like, nah.
I'm
Or
good.
you show up to the beach with your Jordans on, or your motherfucking
Tim's.
or your Timbs and shit, or you got your you got on your fucking expensive ass Yeezy slides with some fucking socks on. You know what I mean? Then you just got sandy feet. At least rock a water shoe or something, bro. If you don't wear your toes out, because for some reason, and then I'm just gonna jump on this soapbox real quick. And my feet are rocked, yo. Like I
I
play
hate
sports.
feet.
I play sports and shit. No, this it's not even that graphic. But all I'm saying is I play
Okay.
sports. You know what I'm saying? I walk every day. I'm in boots and shit. You know what I mean? I'm on my feet a lot. My dogs is fucking beat the fuck down. It's you don't want like there's dudes out there that don't want their feet out. Like, yo, dog, you can't have your toes out. This shit is not whatever. You know what I mean? But if you go,
not manly.
yeah, but if you go other places or you like have friends from like other cultures, they don't never got no fucking shoes on. They be outside without their shoes. They be grounding and shit. They all the yoga motherfuckers. They got you watch videos, there's people in the gym working out, just raw dogging these nasty ass gym floors. But what I will say is that like as a urban fella, you know what I mean? It's the what's the word I'm looking for? The urban myth that black dudes specifically can't be having their toes out. Man, if you don't air out them dogs, it's just gonna be looking like old cheese in the fridge. So put some air on your toes, man. Go to the beach and shit. I mean, I hate wet sand, but I've been trying to get into the beach just to get the salt water between the toes and shit. You know what I mean? Get a foot bath. Go get your feet done at least like once every couple of months. You don't got to go all the time. You don't got to be posted up with a lady know your name and you're in the appointment book every 2 weeks or whatever because you got to make sure you get in at a certain time. But there's actually a service out there where you don't necessarily have to ever cut your own toenails. You don't cut
for
your
people with diabetes, but okay.
I'm just no like when you go to get your feet done, when you get a pedicure, she trim your toes down. She cut your toenails, dog. Like, so just like treat it like the barbershop. You know what I mean? You get a haircut, it's like you're at your house cutting your own hair. Get your feet done, fellas. You know what I mean? Get your nails done and
That's,
shit. Keep your nails. Get
you,
your shit healthy.
basically, it's just personal hygiene. You know, it's total body hygiene. That's it. It's just when I know when my son or my kids started taking a shower, I used to tell them, you know, pits, privates, and toes, right? You know, wash your feet. You know, scrub your feet.
What
You
about
know,
your
so
legs?
it's just one of them kind of simple things.
You skipping your legs and your torso, bro?
No, like the main areas, like make sure, like yeah, you wash
I'm just saying.
everything up, but
You said
pits, privates,
pits,
and
privates, and toes. So you skipping your chest.
pits, privates, and toes. No, it's like no, like these are the spots that you really gotta focus
You
on.
gotta focus on your own shit, dog. Like you know, washing your arms. What if your arms is dirty? You just got grease and arms and lotion and shit. You just letting the water hit that.
Well,
You gotta
I
wash your
hope
neck. You gotta wash
I
behind your
see
ears.
see this is the thing.
You don't wash your shoulders, dog.
Yeah, I do.
You just said pits,
Like I wash.
privates, and toes. You skipping over
I
your
said
kneecaps.
no. In full context, this is what it is, right? In full context, areas to focus on: pits, privates, and toes. Those are main areas to focus on. Like, yeah, you have to wash your whole body. Like,
So
but
why not just say wash everything and pay special attention to
exactly,
your twigs and berries, your undercarriage and shit. Don't forget to wash the undercarriage, guys. That's an important section of
yeah,
your body that gets neglected.
pits, privates, and toes.
And wash your back.
Like,
If you don't got the flexibility to wash your back, you know, try to wash that shit in sections or get the fucking thing. They make the thing where you can fuck with the towel, you can scratch, get the
yep.
fucking they got the loofah or the fucking back washer shit and you put it on it's on the stick.
Mm-hmm.
Wash your back, guys. Um
Mm-hmm.
like there's probably millions of people that have never washed their back. That's all I'm saying.
This is a weird fucking PSA.
It's a weird transition. And I'm sorry that we're in this place right now. But
From toes to wash your back. Like, yo, you're
because
on
I
the
was
road
thinking,
tonight, my guy.
I was
Like,
just thinking about like, yo, there's like, because you always
whew,
like,
Thelma grinds your gears.
I've been falling into rabbit holes all week, man. I've been falling into rabbit holes all week. I found a piece of property in Detroit for $750 yesterday. Because yeah, like
Okay, wait.
it's
I'm
so
trying to
hard.
figure out, like,
It's so hard. It's just empty. It's an empty lot between two houses that's big enough to put a small house on. It's got some trees on it
how we go from toes and washing your back
because
to.
it was a weird segue, but I'm talking about rabbit holes that I fell in, and I was looking
Oh,
at
okay.
property in the rabbit hole um,
Okay.
while I was
I
binge
felt like
watching. What?
I
But
teleported into a brand new conversation there. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Yeah. What kind
but
of quantum leap shit is this?
whenever I'm in the whenever I'm in the shower, and I'm not gonna overshare, but whenever I'm in the shower, I always think about a couple things. A, wash everything. Um, you know, especially like the back of your legs. Like, because I'm like, I wonder how many people don't wash the back of their legs. Right? Because okay, full disclosure, um, like sometimes when you come home and shit, or you know,
Should I be writing this down?
you you might be a little inebriated, or you might be, you know, up on cloud nine, whatever it is for you. So showers are usually like a thought situation for me. When I'm in the shower, I'm thinking about shit. You know, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking about the things that I need to think about while I'm in the shower. Also, you know, do people like are you like a front facing? Do you like face the water, or do you side body the water, or do you like turn around and wash your body and then like turn back around? Like, are you like a rotator in the shower? Like, do you be under the water? Do you step back? Do you have enough space to step back so you can like really lather up and then you just pump underneath the water and shit? You know what I mean? And most importantly, I always think about like I wonder how many people don't wash the bottom of their feet.
Okay, all right. I see you bringing it full circle here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, we always
You
get
went,
back to where we supposed
you
to
went,
be.
you went from toes, you went from toes to back of your leg, back to feet. Okay, all right. I
Yeah,
see
yeah,
you.
yeah.
You're bringing it back home. Okay, you're
We
landing
was
the
on
plane here.
we was on
You're
there
landing the
feeling
plane
it.
here, Joe Biden.
Yeah, we just sometimes you just gotta let me land, man. Sometimes like we moved around. We moved around. But
Okay.
essentially I always wonder like how many people don't actually wash the bottom of their feet. And it's always proven to me when I fly because there's always like 1,000 people in the line at the airport raw dogging these airport floors with their dirty ass, with their bare feet. And I'm like, these people must never wash the bottom of their feet because they're willing to put their otherwise would be clean feet on the dirtiest surface in the world.
Germs from all around the world.
Like,
From the bottom of people's shoes. Like you
and I
get,
mean,
I don't want to say any countries and then get banned from countries, but
here's the
no,
thing.
it's from
No, no,
all
no.
around the world, everywhere,
Like everywhere. And I'm like, yo,
everywhere.
I fly out early and I get to the
Mm.
so but the airport probably closed. They probably do like the major areas, but I never see people like sweeping out the fucking x-ray machine. You know what I mean? Like how do they keep that floor clean of the fucking
Mm.
500,000 people that might fly out of Logan Airport tomorrow, walking through that
Mm.
x-ray machine, and then the next day here comes, the family on their way to Florida or somewhere warm and they got their flops on with no socks.
So I take it.
But anyway,
Apparently, this has been on your mind this week. On the
nah,
mind
man,
of
I've been I've been everywhere, dog. I've been all over the place. I was watching the Appalachian Outlaws about the dudes who harvest ginseng in like West Virginia and shit. It's like a huge American ginseng trade situation, like where like dudes carry guns and shoot at each other and shit. Um,
mm,
but
okay.
how did I get there? Hold on. Oh, so the guy says they're arguing, and the one guy says, "If you come any closer to me, I'm gonna put a bullet between your eyes." And then the dude responds. This is the best response. This can count as my internet fuckery. Dude says, "That'll be hard to do while I'm standing on your chest, pissing down your throat." And I was like, "That's the most backwoods southernest shit I ever heard." I like a good saying. I like a good
Hmm.
saying.
That was well thought out.
I will
He
stand.
landed he landed that plane.
I'll
Like
be
he did that line read. Sweet.
Yeah, I'll be standing on your and he said it angrily too, like he didn't think about it. He was like, I'll be standing on
Mm-hmm.
your chest, pissing down your throat. You know how much you gotta hate a motherfucker to stand on their chest and then take out your junk and then
Well,
pee not
well,
only on their face, and I'm not talking about wet works, man. Let's not go there with the R. Kelly shit.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. Some people actually pay big money for that kind of stuff.
But here's the
I am
thing.
not one of those people.
Here's the thing. Wet works doesn't involve you
Nope.
standing on your chest, and you want what's coming out of the peen. I'm talking about violently, like I might have punched you in your shit, you fell backwards, I stomped you, now I'm standing on your chest, telling you to
You
open your
know,
mouth so I can take my
y-
dick out and pee in
uh,
your throat.
uh,
That's
yeah.
that's malice.
Next time, give me a disclaimer that you're gonna get this graphic with some hillbillies and backyard brawling, like backwood brawls.
No, yo, it's called Appalachian Outlaws. You should watch it. It's on
Operation
Hulu.
Elvis.
It's on
Okay.
Hulu. You should watch it. It's actually pretty good.
It sounds good.
Yo, I love
From-
I love a good Southern saying. You ever had like a teacher or like a grandparent or somebody that just says like the wildest shit, and you're like, damn,
Mm.
how the fuck they even think of that shit? You know what I mean? Like it's coded in four nipples on a pig type shit. You know what I mean? Like that type
Nah,
of shit.
that's why I'm like, nah, that's a whole nother bag of cats. That's one of those phrases that I picked up watching one of them. Yeah,
Yeah,
nah, that's a whole nother bag of cats. So like, I'm like, a whole nother bag of cats. I'm like, yeah, that shit sounds wild. Yeah, a bag of cats.
and
Okay.
it's always like the old Southern folks that got like the best sayings. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. Depending on the setting, and yeah,
yeah,
no, okay, yeah, I'll give that to you. I'm not gonna debate you on that one.
hotter than a
You
horn,
darn tootin'.
right?
You darn tootin'. What the fuck?
Sweating like a whore in church. Sweating like a whore in church is one of my favorites, dude.
Uh,
Just
that's
classic shit.
I'm a little bit more traditional, where sweating like Patrick Ewing in the third quarter. Like I'm a little bit more traditional. I'm not that backwoodsy, even though there was a time I used to play spoons and whittle wood, but that's a whole nother bag of cats, as they might say.
Right? You know,
Yeah, you see, land the
you
plane on that one.
use
Sweet.
about a use about a shade tree motherfucker is one of my other favorites.
What?
I
What?
cleaned it. I cleaned it up. I cleaned it up a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. That's what I was like.
But
Wait, what?
but
Okay.
calling
All
the
right.
calling the motherfucker a shade tree is that's
Hmm.
that's that's elite black exploitation trash talk right there. Um,
Uh. Okay.
but I cleaned it up. Let, let's
All right.
let's keep it moving because we've been spending a lot of oh shit. We already been rocking for an hour, man. We spent a lot of time on the
Election.
on the election stuff, and that's cool. Sometimes that's just how the show goes.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
are gonna get
Your weird PSA was quite a valid point. I must say that though.
thanks, man.
About washing your toes, making sure you wash your back,
Watch your back,
the
dog,
the back of your legs, and the bottom of your feet.
dude.
All
Like
right.
when you think about it, don't get me started again, man. Because
That's why I'm laughing. That's why I'm laughing. That's why I'm
we almost
laughing.
we almost got back into almost got back into the fuckery. Um, we gonna
I don't
we
want to
gonna skip
rekindle that. I don't want to rekindle that one.
we gonna skip over sports. I do have a question for you though. I don't know if you saw my question of the my internet question of the week yesterday uh, about
Mm,
I asked the ladies specifically
mhm.
because again in the shower, I'm like, yeah, I wonder whatever happens to like the hoodies because like I got a good collection of hoodies and like people always like, damn, I like that hoodie, blah blah blah. Like my mom has stolen a bunch of my hoodies, but like when you're in relationships, it's one of those things like your girl always end up with one of your hoodies or two of your hoodies or a good handful of your hoodies. I'm sure, and I'm like, yo, that's cool while y'all together, but what do you do with the hoodies after the fact? So I
Hmm.
pose this question to the ladies because my theory is that uh, women keep them shits and they wear them shits with the new dude. And every time she puts that hoodie on, maybe she thinks about you just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, I remember this hoodie, and it brings her back to a good time in her life, uh, or a bad time, because she might be keeping
Yeah.
that shit like, man, I fucking can't stand this thing, but I love this hoodie. You know what I'm saying? It's the one thing, the one good thing I might have got out of this relationship type shit. But do you have a theory on what happens to the hoodies, and then I'll let you know what.
Well, I can't really speak of personal experience for a couple of reasons. Number one,
Man, of course you can. This is like back in the day. You've had relationships, dog, where you've lost hoodies. Do you what do you think happened to
no,
those hoodies?
I no. In all honesty, like hoodies are like varsity jackets, like old school varsity jackets, where you're wearing the letter. Be like, yeah, they're going steady because she's wearing my jacket. Like that's what hoodies are basically. In all honesty, I don't think I've. In all honesty, I cannot recall losing any hoodies. Like, I don't know if it's the pimp in me where I'm like, nah, bitch, I ain't giving you shit. Fuck that. Get your own. I'll give you money and get your own shit. Or I'll buy you one. you know, type shit. But no, I don't think I've ever lost a hoodie. Number one. Number two, this is why I was kind of giggling when I had a feeling he was going to ask me because based on percentages, I tend to lean towards w- larger women.
Okay, you like the plus
Women,
size models.
yeah, well, yeah, the Lane Bryants. But yeah, um,
You said the
no, but
lame.
they have a big chest. They have a big chest too. So it's like they can't really fit in my clothes. So that's possibly why I haven't
Uh,
really lost any hoodies.
that make
So
that makes sense. You do like a full figured lady, and you're not the tallest guy either. So uh,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not you're
So
not. I wouldn't call you a short king because you're above 5'5", but you know
yeah, in some
like
circles you could call me a Guatemalan giant, but even with that, I'm still like bigger than that guy.
your 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 taste in ladies is generally taller and more voluptuous. Um,
Yes, yeah, yeah. That's the phrasing.
I on the other hand,
I'm not really a petite gay.
I on the other hand am bigger than most people. So
Yeah.
you know,
Well, yeah. Well, see, this is the other thing too, and to kind of answer your question with that, yeah, I find it weird. Like, why would you want to keep the hoodie if you broke up
so
with me? If
here's
you broke up with me,
so
why would you want to keep it and then wear it with another dude? And then weirdly, if we see each other, be like, I don't know if I'll be like, yo, oh shit, that's where my hoodie is. Like, and now the dude, the boyfriend is like, the
so
fuck? Like,
so this is the follow up. This is the follow up to that, right? Because uh, my research has determined that
okay.
a vast majority of women, because I did get a few like I burned them bitches. I only burn the one. I throw away the ones I don't like, but overwhelmingly, women are keeping them shits like souvenir trophies, like skins. They're keeping them like skins on a wall, and we don't have
Uh,
like it's the equivalent to like the old school notch in the bedpost that guys because we're not wearing her hoodies, right? Uh, we're not
most
stealing.
likely, no, no.
There's really not too many. There's nothing really in a lady's wardrobe where we're like, yo, I'm gonna steal this and wear this shit because she always be stealing my hoodies. 9 times
Mm,
out of 10, you guys are not the same size in anything. Like,
mm.
this is a 2X hoodie, and I got fucking orangutan arms. Like the average like lady is not. She might fit it up like even if she's like a 2X lady, my
Mm,
arms are so fucking abnormally long. It's still gonna be big. So it's like, but
mm.
the overwhelmingness is that these women are keeping these and they're wearing them regularly. They're like, this is my hoodie now. I stole it. I don't care
Yeah,
that I don't fuck with you anymore. I'm gonna still wear the hoodie because it's a good hoodie. Which brings
yeah.
me to my next thought in my rabbit hole of
Mm-hmm.
damn. So like, fellas, if you with your lady, check the closet. If there's hoodies in there that you didn't buy with her, depending on, especially like if it's a new relationship, fuck checking the medicine cabinet in the fridge for the fruit snacks and shit. Check her closet, see how many hoodies she got, and that's like not her size. Because they always like them because they're big and they're roomy, and I can pull them over my knees and wear them around the house and shit. She got a bunch of 2X, 3X hoodies in her closet. That's her trophy case, bro. Now, how do you feel as
No,
a
that's my
dude?
son's hoodie. No, that's my
Yeah, yeah,
son's
yeah. Nah,
hoodie.
she don't got no
Uh,
kids. She don't got no sons. So if her
no,
son
that
is
was a hoodie when I weighed more weight.
if
I
her son,
lost a lot of
show
weight
me show me a
recently.
picture. Show me a picture now. I want to see because
With you with that hoodie
with
on.
that hoodie on, yeah. Because like as a dude, how do you
Yeah.
feel knowing like
It's like no, it's like Predator. Remember in Predator how he keeps the skull of the animals that he
yeah, that's
kills?
what I'm saying. It's like a little trophy case. Like open it up. She's gonna tell you if she's lying about her bodies. Check her hoodie count.
Oh yeah, this was 92. Oh, this one
Yeah.
only lasted. This was 97. That was a vintage year. That one only lasted 3 months though, but it was a good 3 months. Yeah, it's like yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, fellas,
Yeah, it's weird.
check the hoodie count in the closet, fellas. It'll let you know if she's lying about those bodies.
Be like, wait, you went to Harvard? Who in your family went to Harvard? No, I just liked the hoodie. It was soft. It's warm,
And you gotta
but
take.
it's a triple XL.
Yeah, you got.
Like they didn't have your size. No, it
Oh,
was on sale for $5.
hey, I bought it at the Savers. I just needed something. It was cold outside. Nah, don't take that. Don't take that, fellas. You might have to take it in the beginning because you gotta take it for at her word. But as you get to know her friends, and then she starts reminiscing because one day she's gonna pull out the old book of photos or the old box of photos. Want to see me when I was in high school type shit? And you're like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Box of
Let me see.
photos.
Yeah, the photo
No,
album.
scrolling through the phone.
Well,
Scrolling through the phone.
nowadays they're scrolling through the phone. But if you're our age, it's a box of photos somewhere, dog. Like I'm in my
Yeah,
40s. You know what I mean?
I do
It's
have
a
a box of
it's a
photos.
box of photos. It's a
Actually,
motherfucking
it's two
photo.
baskets.
Yeah, it's a photo album and shit. You know what I mean? With
Oh
old
yeah.
photos in it. Yeah, that's when you're gonna see all those hoodies that's hanging in her closet. This is me when I was in college. Uh, you know, this is us at
Remember
the
that?
club. Yeah,
Remember
you're
that
gonna see
commercial
those.
back in the day? I forgot what the product was. It was some like coffee or tea, and they were like, "Oh, and what was his name again? Jean Luc."
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
and just sitting there like, the fuck they talking about Jean Luc for? Like, speaking of which, why you have that Paris hoodie? Like, the fuck that all about? Like,
Yeah. So
they
just
they
be
don't wear
weary.
hoodies in Paris.
Just be weary of the ill hoodie collection that might be in your lady's wardrobe. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Depending on how long you've been
okay.
together, you can't account for all those hoodies, especially if you are a slender dude. You know what I mean? If you if
Nah,
you if you if you a 1X hoodie and she got mad 2X hoodies, just know that that's her trophy case, dog. You might not want to ask her no questions about it, is all I'm saying, because it'll hurt your ego, bro. Because I was thinking like, damn, that's crazy. Because like you go because she might in the beginning she's not gonna say anything, but as you guys get more serious, you might see those hoodies like get disappeared, right? Because she's like, all right, I'm serious about this dude. I don't want him asking too many questions. So she might throw them hoodies in a box. But one
no,
day you're
no.
gonna that's what I'm saying. You gotta check the closet early so you know. So when she throws out the picture box, you're gonna see those same hoodies, but you're gonna see them on some dudes. Is all I'm saying. And that's just
Understand.
gonna kill your soul. It's gonna crush your soul.
Understand. Understand. This is through my experience is going to be the answer that many women will give you as the ultimate equalizer. Oh, that's the past. Me and you, we're the present and moving on into the future. That is
Yo,
going to be the
and
answer.
here's the
That's going to
thing.
be the answer given. I'm telling you.
Here's the thing
That is
though.
going to be the but yet
That's a totally
but
acceptable answer because it is the past, and you don't want her holding something over your head from some past shit. Oh, you used to fuck that bitch, blah blah blah. Yo, that was like 5 years ago before we was ever together. So the fuck what? But it still fucks with her. I'm not saying that you can't. You gotta accept it because it's the past. You know what I mean. As long as don't no new 2X hoodies show up, you know what I mean. Then you in a good situation. But
nah,
it's different.
that's that bullshit. That's that bullshit
But
though.
here's the thing:
Because
it's much.
they can hold your past against you, but you can't ever
I'm not.
talk about their past.
I'm not even digging into the double standard of it all. I'm saying
Mm,
psychologically, the hoodie collection in the trophy case closet is visible. You know what I mean?
mm.
Like, oh yeah, that chick that you never met that I fucked with 5, 6 years before we was either together. That's a memory. You might have a photo of her on a social media, some shit. You might know her from the streets, but you don't gotta see her every day. Every time I open my side of the closet, or I go by your house. If we're not that serious, I go by your house and you're like, oh, let me throw a hoodie on. It's cold outside. I'm wondering which dude had this hoodie on before. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking with you every day. It's like you don't play ball or you trying to do music and you start dating a chick and she got Grammys on the wall and every day you gotta go in and look at her Grammys and
Listen,
just make you feel or she you know what I mean? Like you gotta look at that
li-
shit every day, the consistent reminder that yo, my lady was outside and she's still keeping them shits. Like, why are you keeping them? What's the
See,
memories involved?
it's
Now
it,
you
it's two it's twofold. Number one, if you wanted to borrow one of her hoodies and you just went into the closet, it was like, oh shit, it's a XL, and you start to wear it, and she's like, oh no, you're not supposed to wear that. Oh no, what the
I
fuck
didn't
you
even
mean?
I didn't even think about that. Like you've been with your girl, and she's like, you're like, yo, it's kind of cold. She's like, yo, just go in the closet, grab a hoodie. There's probably one that might fit you. And you're like, what?
No,
All right, yeah,
no,
fuck
not
it.
that one, not
And
that one.
you throw on the last dude's hoodie that she was just with. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, ugh.
And even worse, you see him out in public, and he's like, "Oh shit, that's where my hoodie is." Oh, nice meeting you, dog. I have a good one.
Yo, the funny,
And now you're like, the fuck?
oh shit.
This is his hoodie? Yo. All right. So
Or like
that is
you spend the night, but you don't really got to change your clothes or some shit. And she's like, yo, I got something. You know, it's kind of chilly here. You could throw this sweater on, and she throw you a fucking
yeah. Now all of it,
yo. It just yo the
and she
this is
snuggles extra close.
and so many of the ladies that like commented about keeping the hoodies, and all I could think about was like, yo, these chicks are keeping skins. They're keeping like kill skins, and it's like even
Yeah.
if I didn't like them, it's like the fucking Cruel Intentions is getting rebooted on Netflix. You ever seen Cruel Intentions with Ryan Phillippe and
Oh yeah. Back in the
Reese
day.
Witherspoon back in the day, and he had the book, and
Hmm.
he would write all the chicks that he smashed down in the book and shit. And then one day she found the book, and it was all crazy. Or like the notch in the bed. This is the female equivalent of the bedpost notch, or
Yeah.
or the keeping the journal.
Imagine keeping notes that girls used to write you from back in the day. I still have some, but
Yo,
that's totally
this is
besides the point.
well. My question was going to be: is this worse than the box that every chick that I like? And this is again another conspiracy theory that every woman has the box of like all the old relationships and shit. And like in that box, maybe are the hoodies. But like, say, like, does it fuck
Something.
with you? Does it fuck with you at all when every time you go over there and you see all these extra large hoodies or 2XL hoodies? Like, does it fuck with your brain? Like, how am I with this chick? Like, she keeping, or is it like,
Hmm.
I want to be the hoodie that she wears the most after it's over?
Well, because now she's feeling like she's engulfed in a memory of you.
Yeah, yeah, I want to be the hoodie
Um,
she. So, fellas, don't
every time I wear this hoodie, I'm basically wearing his essence.
it's the number one reason why women are diabolical supervillains and we have no shot against them.
Oh
Because
yeah.
they'll put that shit in your face every day and then tell you that it don't mean nothing. Oh, that don't mean nothing. That was before. Why you still got the hoodie then? That's all I'm asking. But
Oh
fellas,
no, it's not about the past.
don't fret. Just try to be the new most worn hoodie. You know what I'm saying? So if at some point it doesn't work out, you know that every time she puts that hoodie on, she got to think about you briefly, and that she
Buy
can
her a
gain a
new
power.
one. Buy
Nah,
her a new hoodie.
I want her to
No,
wear
no,
it.
no.
I
Get
want her
no,
to.
no. Get her a new hoodie. Like customize it just for her. Make sure it's the most plush and soft and warm hoodie ever.
Nah,
Or if anything, you take off one of yours and give it to her.
yeah, because the Petty Luther King approval is making sure that she wears your hoodie the most. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then when y'all ain't together no more, she still wears your hoodie because she thinks about you every time she puts it on. And that's
Uh,
stay petty, kings. Stay petty. Um,
Again, if anything, I'm 100% positive I've never lost a hoodie.
one day, you're gonna be like, oh shit, I've been looking for this hoodie. Somebody's gonna get you for a hoodie.
Yeah.
Somebody's watching this right now, and they're like,
Mm.
yeah, about to give me a hoodie. We about the same size. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So be careful for the kings
Yeah.
right there. You know what I mean? But
Oh
yeah,
man,
we're
the
running
fixes are now.
super long, so I just wanted to get that question. Every week we're gonna try to find. I'm gonna try to think of something to ask y'all and try to interact with. Uh, um, but the top five, we've reached that point. The top five, one, two, three, four, fifth. Where we talk about our top five of something every episode. We'll be pulling these off, throwing them up on the YouTube channel, reels and shorts. So you can see all the top five so far um, over the next few weeks or so. Uh, this week, we're talking about the top five television shows that should be remade with today's, excuse me, with today's technology. So you love the show,
Mm-hmm.
back in the day, but that like right now, if that shit would have got remade, that shit would be so crazy because the way that technology is. Um,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? A good example would be, I don't know, The Incredible Hulk. You know what I mean? They did like She-Hulk, and they had, you know what I mean? Just
Mm-hmm.
knowing how good the CGI was for Mark Ruffalo's plays the Hulk in the Marvel Universe and shit. That shit looks amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, uh, what are your top five shows that should be remade with today's technology?
All right. So let me start with some of my honorable mentions here. Um, whatchamacallit? Let me start with some obvious ones. They should reboot Watchmen because they only have one season. And if anything, I think they're actually going to do something. I think it's an animated series or something like that that they're gonna do with Watchmen. But I hope that they reboot that. But let me keep this very short and sweet. I'll say Who's the Boss just because of the premise of it all as an honorable mention. Punky Brewster. I think they did reboot it, but that's why I should not even mention it. I just wanted to mention it because that was my sister's favorite show. And Highway to Heaven. That was one of those shows that my mother used to always have on TV, and I used to catch it every now and then. And it was actually a nice premise, and it was a nice show. It was different. It dealt with morals and stuff like that. But yeah, that's an honorable mention. But my top five, I'll start with number five, and I'll actually flip it on my list here. I'll put The Rifleman at number five. Love that show. With modern technology, with the camera angles, and just the storyline and what it was based on. Love the storyline. I want to see like an updated version of it. Number four, which I just flipped with the Rifleman, Knight Rider. They've actually done a couple of reboots with Knight Rider where they had a team of Knight Rider vehicles. It was weird as fuck. It was trash, but I would like to see them do it now, especially with all the technology that we have available to us. It's not going to be as special, but it's the missions that he's on as well, and the whole Michael Knight thing. Because his whole story, if you watch it from the beginning, it is it's different. I like the premise. Number three, they actually came out with a movie for it, but I used to love this show way back in the day. I remember watching it living in New York before we moved up to Rhode Island. But The Fall Guy, um, that's one of those shows I like to see come back because again, it's the premise of it all: stunt guy at daytime and detective at night. Um, so number two, I'll go with Small Wonder. With the android, the father was working at an android factory and then brought the parts home and then ended up having the daughter and she was like a live robot. Back in the day, that was advanced based on how everything has advanced with robotics and everything. A Small Wonder show would be nice. And then my number one, very off the beat. I love the premise of the show. It's an old school throwback, but Dream On is my number one. Dream On, like he used to tell his story based. Well, it was a guy that basically grew up watching TV. So in everything that he does, it references to something that he watched back in the day. So when he's dealing with some situations, they will show a clip of like an old movie or a TV show, and it would basically be his emotion. Nowadays, with everybody on their phone and seeing reels and stuff like that, and different TikToks and shit like that. It's one of those things that you can actually incorporate into the world where you're having a conversation and you're like, oh shit, I remember that, blah blah blah, and you know. But Dream On is my number one that I like to see reboot. You know, I had Alf on my list here too, but not really. That'll be weird. You know, eating cats has got a bad rap, so I
They're
don't know if that's
eating
gonna
the
fly.
cats.
They're eating the cat.
That's a dope list, man. I actually, when you started your list, I was like, damn, we might have a bunch of the same shit because because we're from the same, relatively the same era, right? Um,
Mm.
and you did have one of mine on here, um, but we're gonna get to it. I didn't write down any honorable mentions only because like there are shows that I would love to see remade, like that just like, but I'd like to see them like darker, or like a little
Mm.
bit more, like or like a different version of it. Um,
Get like the Bel Air treatment for Fresh
yeah,
Prince.
maybe like the Bel Air treatment, but also like like a show like The Wire, like with the way technology is right now, with as many cameras, like the heist shows more so than anything. Because
Mm.
how do
Why
you
is a
pull
good
off
one.
like in the 70s you could or the 80s, you know what I mean? You could pull off a lot of that stuff because there weren't CCTVs everywhere. Now
Mm.
you got to think about everybody got a Ring doorbell cam just about. So you're on so many cameras. Like I'd
Social
like to
media
see
too.
social media, like, and you get a little bit of it with like shows like Chicago PD and like where they show a little bit of the technology. So I was like, there would be shows
Mm.
like that that I'd like to see kind of like updated to like how they would combat that now.
Mm.
Um, you know, but anyway, my list.
Yeah, I.
Uh, First on the list uh, is the $6 Million Man.
Oh, great one.
Um, one of my favorite shows growing up. Uh,
Steve Austin.
Steve Austin. Who was that? Was that Lee Majors?
Yeah.
Lee
He was
Majors,
also in the Fall
also
Guy
the Fall
too.
Guy. Um,
Yeah. I was
for,
actually watching that series a couple months ago.
for those who don't know about the $6 Million Man, basically he was a NASA pilot. He crashed, and then instead of like
Hmm.
killing him, he still had a pulse, so they made him bionic. And then he was like a crime fighter,
Yeah.
vigilante shit. And so that would be dope.
Mm.
That would be so dope because now with technology, you can actually make him move as fast as he was supposed to be moving during the.
Yeah.
You know, you can show him actually picking up the car with ease without having to, you know, the technology is there now for like the stuff that he was doing to be able to like
Yeah.
really show it. Um, Number four on my list is actually Small Wonder, another one of my favorite shows. But that's definitely one of the shows that I'd love to see like a little bit darker because it was definitely like kind of a
Mm.
wholesome little family show, you know. So like, maybe he works for like Boston Dynamics or something, you know what I mean? And
Mm.
maybe the government is after the bot more than they were on the show because like she used to have to hide in the closet all the time. Just take a little bit of the shine off of it and make it,
Mm.
give it like a little bit more of a high stakes situation. Um,
Yeah,
you
it
know,
was highly campy.
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I
yeah.
was watching that. I was watching that with my niece a couple of months ago.
Shout out to the homie Lindsay. She went as a Small Wonder to Comic Con, and the outfit was super dope. Um,
Nice.
Number three on my list is Street Hawk. Street Hawk was like
Okay.
Knight Rider, except that it was just a dude on a bike. They ran one season, um, and 13 episodes. But now with the technology, because he had like the one cop dude who was like he was a cop actually, but then he had like the one like smart dude who was like he couldn't really walk, but he was like the dude behind all the computers telling him where to go. Um,
Mm.
you know, he was supposed to be on this super fast bike with guns, and it could like jump over shit and do all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that came out the same. Nah, Viper came out afterwards.
whatever came out way after, like they were using like a
Yeah.
straight dirt bike that they just put a fairing on. You know what I mean? Like if you notice in the show, like the front tire is mad skinny because it's like a fucking like a straight dirt bike with like, but they try to make it look like a ninja or something.
Yeah.
Number two,
That was a good one.
number two on my list is Airwolf.
Ah.
Because helicopters are so much more advanced now. Like I'm sure that Airwolf would be like an Apache or something, in a new rendition of it.
A Bell
Obviously
helicopter.
with the world, with the things that are going on in the world, and the way they're writing, like political type dramas, like I can't think of any off the top of my head, but it would just be dope to see, like, going on actual like missions and saving people, and that type of shit.
Yeah.
But Airwolf was definitely one of my favorite shows. But I tried to watch it like recently, and I couldn't get past the fucking like just the button board inside the copter. I was like, what is this shit? It looked like the front of Darth Vader. It looked like the front of Darth Vader and shit. You're like, damn,
The
this
old school console.
is bad. We just have flashing lights on it. They just probably took it out of like a fucking AT&T switchboard, and just, it was bad. But anyway,
Yeah.
number one on my top five today is
Michael Dudikoff.
one of my favorite shows growing up. I wish they would bring it back, because it was funny. It was kind of campy in a way, but also dope at the same time. And I feel like if they did it today, it would definitely have like that darkness that I love in television shows, but also with an air of like uh, vigilante CIA-ness type shit, Black Ops. And that show is Max Headroom.
Ah, nice one.
Max Headroom.
Nice one.
So if you don't know about Max Headroom, you should definitely go pop it on, and just watch a couple episodes. They're basically like journalists, and Max
And
Headroom is like,
the talking head.
Max Headroom is inside the. He was a journalist in episode one, and on the mission he ends up getting some things go down, and he ends up being like just a ball of energy, I guess, at this point, and he like helps the other like news people from his office get the stories, and like keeps them out of trouble and helps them because he can move through the electrical currents.
See, that would work nowadays, especially with the internet.
Right. So I think that would be a dope reboot. And
Oh yeah,
my top five, yo.
I'm surprised both of us didn't say the 18.
Well, when I was thinking about my list, I was thinking more about from like the technological standpoint. Like the only thing you could really do to make the 18 better is have them like maybe have better guns, and it could be grittier, obviously, but these was the worst shooting military dudes in the history of television. They was out there looking like stormtroopers and shit, just not hitting shit. But they all got AK-47s, and nobody's getting mowed down. So that's why I didn't put the 18 on. Knight Rider was a good one. I almost put Knight Rider on my list, but
especially with all the new cars now. Oh shit!
They rebooted it so many times. Like,
yeah,
they had a Viper, they had a Corvette, they had a Mustang. It was like a bunch of different versions. And like,
now the version with the team, they had like a truck. I think it was a truck, and then I think it was like a El Camino motorcycle. It was weird. It was whack. And then they would like drive into like an airplane. It was rock.
Oh yeah, I do remember that one. Yeah. Like
I couldn't even finish the first episode.
It was like Knight Rider 2000, I think it was, because the kid was supposed to be Michael Knight's like son or some shit.
It was pure trash. I couldn't even finish the first episode. I was like, nah, I'm not doing this.
I think I watched it while it was on TV, and I just ended up watching the whole shit, but it was terrible.
Yeah, I remember when it was on TV, and I was like, nope, I got better things to do with my life.
I think it came on like
even recently. I tried to watch it.
I think it came on before that Pamela Anderson show where she was like the private eye.
Oh my goodness.
It was part of
Yep.
that collection of television shows. But that's the
Uh,
top five. That's gonna do it for another episode of uh, Caveman and Iron Monkey talking that shit. We ran a little long today, but we got to talk about the election. We went over the ballot. Make sure you vote. Um, don't
vote.
not vote. Go and vote. There's plenty of opportunities on the ballot. It's not like you're voting for one person or the other. Vote for the person who's going to bring your best interest via policy and
Mm.
benefit you the most via the policies that they may try to push through. But most importantly, vote in your vote. If you don't vote, even if you don't go in there and you don't even vote at the top of the ticket, vote on the rest of the shit because you can't talk about being mad about it if you don't go and vote. And if you don't vote for the shit, you know what I mean? Like you gotta have like a foot. I'm not talking to you if you didn't vote. You can't complain
See,
to me about
this is the
how
thing
shit
too.
is
Is
if you didn't vote.
I was in New York when I think Obama was running the second time. I was in New York, and I was like, nah, I gotta be in Rhode Island to vote. My uncle was like, no, let's just go. That's when I learned about provision votes. Because if anything, I still get whatchamacallit, um jury duty notices from New York. I'm like, I don't live in New York. Like, stop sending me this thing. They're like, prove it. I'm like, I'm like, look. So I gotta send them information to prove that I don't live in New York. But no, provision votes. Even if you're out of state, just go to the
At
polling
at
place,
this point,
let them know that you're out of the state.
there's no reason to not vote at this point. Like you can mail it in, you can go there, you can find your polling place
Hmm.
online. Like there's plenty of days left. Just make sure you educate yourself on all the things on your local ballots and vote. Like I said, if you don't vote for the top of the ticket, that's cool. Vote for the local shit because the local shit is going to be the stuff that most impacts you and your family and your friends. Um,
Yep.
at the end of the day. So uh, I'll be voting tomorrow. That was going to vote. You're going to vote on Tuesday.
Yep.
Polls are open until 8 o'clock. People, you got all day and all night. They open at 8 a.m. They close at 8 o'clock. There's no reason
Yep.
not to get out of work and go vote. There's nothing else that you should be doing. Even if you got to pick your kids up from daycare, pick them up, take them to go vote. Show them the process. Let them know
Yep.
that this is the thing that they should be doing. But yeah, check us next week. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe, interact with us. You know what I mean? Comment on the stuff and share it with your friends and all that. And we'll catch y'all next week. Yeah.